Realtor with Keller Williams Realty, and I want to thank you for joining me for another video special report. Today's report is titled How to Assure a Smooth Purchase of Your Home. This report is available in a written format as well, and at the end of this video I will be more than happy to explain how you can get a copy for yourself. So let's get right into it. What is the actual home buying process, and how do you make sure that the closing actually happens at the scheduled date? Well, understand this report before you get started on the home buying process, and make sure you will be moving into your new home on time instead of living out of a moving van. So, how do we assure a smooth purchase of your new Hemet home? It's important to make sure that the closing goes smoothly. There are a lot of people that will be involved in the transaction of buying and selling a house. So this is a list of who is typically included as a minimum. Mortgage broker or lender, the loan processor, the realtor, the seller of the home inspector, pest inspector looking for termite and dry rot. There's an appraiser. Oftentimes there's a handyman. Of course, there's a title officer for title insurance, and your insurance agent. And the list could be smaller, but you can see there are a lot of people involved in the process of buying your new home. So it's a punch list to keep the process moving when you are buying your new home. Well, once the offer has been accepted, it's best to go ahead and schedule your home inspection right away. Typically in the state of California, we have 17 days, although this is a variable. It does not hold true with every escrow. But within those 17 days, you have to perform your due diligence. This is your appraisal has to be issued by your lender. It has to come back. Your home inspection has to be reviewed. Your termite inspections have to take place. Anything that you want to know about that property, whether it's roof or the well or anything else, you have 17 days on a typical contract. Again, this is something that's important to negotiate if you feel that you need more time to perform your due diligence. However, most home inspections can usually be done within a day or two of calling the inspection company. And it may seem like an unnecessary expense, depending on the size of the home. They would typically run $250 to $500. But think of it as an insurance policy. You pay car insurance every month without expecting to get in an accident. So this is someone who's going to look at the home, every detail. They're going to check the plugs. They're going to check and make sure, silly things like you have screens on the windows, okay? Things that are often overlooked even by professional realtors when it comes time. So it's an important part of the process. Okay, you may not think that there's anything wrong with the property you're looking at, but it's good to get a non-biased third-party opinion, okay? And he will give you a professional opinion and a professional written report. Sometimes, depending on the inspector, you'll have computer-generated reports that you'll be able to save for your records. And these reports all come complete with photographs showing everything, every little indication that there may or may not be something wrong, okay? Or could possibly go wrong in the years to come. Not too often in this market area, but if you have underground oil tanks, I know these are pretty dominant in the East Coast, but you definitely want to have a soils test done to make sure that there hasn't been any leakage, because that can be really expensive. Thousands of dollars to pull that tank out and put a new one in if necessary. Once your inspections are done, if there are items that come up that could be negotiated, you'll want to look at that possibility of renegotiating the contract. It is best not to use this, though, as an excuse to try to get a better deal, but it can be a great way to get the seller to help with the cost of some of the repairs that may be needed to be completed for closing. And I should point out that the lender will typically require that these repairs be made. Okay? If there are repairs that need to be completed, you will want to get some estimates of the costs for these repairs and weigh the costs of having them done before the closing as opposed to doing them at a later time yourself. Again, not always possible with the lender. And which just brings me to the point that keep in mind that the lender may have repair requirements that they need completed prior to the loan process being completed. After the appraisal, the lender will let you know what has to be repaired before you can have the loan. These are called conditions of the loan. When your inspections are out of the way, it's time to have the appraisal scheduled. The lender needs to be contacted and informed that the appraisal needs to be ordered. The appraisal is one of the costs that will have to be paid up front, along with any inspections that need to be done on the property, as we already discussed. The quicker all these steps take place, the quicker your loan can close on the house. And if you're not working with a realtor, well, shame on you, but it is best to contact your mortgage broker or lender once a week just to make sure they are not missing any documentation that you may need to get them in the process of moving out or moving ahead smoothly. Once a week, you will also want to contact your escrow officer that is in charge of the closing and the title company. They are very busy, but just let them know it is important that you stay notified of anything that you can do to help with the loan. Like any business, it is a squeaky wheel that gets the grease. Well, at this time, you'll also want to call your insurance agent and inform them you will be buying a house and need coverage for the closing of the loan. I can't tell you how many times everybody's ready to close and there's no insurance. This is your responsibility. It's not your realtor's, it's not escrow. This is your responsibility. This is a contractual obligation that you make with your insurance company, and only you can procure that insurance. This is a responsibility of the buyer. Okay? The title company will send out a form that you'll fill out with your insurance information. But again, contact your agent up front and get the wheels moving as quick as possible. Once the title company or the lender calls you requesting information, get it to them as quick as possible. The quicker you respond, the quicker the loan process will take place. You can generally expect to close it and take about 30 days from the time an offer is accepted. If you have all of your ducks in a row, you can move the closing forward by maybe a week, but that is about the quickest you can expect the closing to happen. You can talk with your mortgage broker and get a figure from them as well on what their average closing time is. There are a lot of people involved in any single home purchase, but by understanding the order in which things take place, it will help you to make sure that you get the keys to your property in a timely manner and that you will have made the process as easy as possible. Thank you for your time, and as I mentioned, if you wanted a written copy of this report, you can do so by emailing me at thehouseseller, that's THEHOUSESELLER at gmail.com. That's G as in Google and mail as in US mail, M-A-I-L. So that's thehouseseller at gmail.com, or you can always reach me directly at 951-443-6259. Thank you very much to you and yours for taking the time, and God bless you both.